I have a small basement shop, so dust collection is of paramount importance. Otherwise, it gets sucked into the furnace and blown out throughout the rest of the house, and then it gets all over my Barry Manilow record collection. Also, with my shop being so small, I don't really have the room for an elaborate 4-inch plumbing setup for optimal dust collection. Instead, I use a shop vac cyclone system that operates on a centralized hose that I use for all of my tools. The big issue is that it's not a standard size hose, so I need to MacGyver up different adapters for each piece of equipment. I recently got this drum sander and need to make an adapter for it. I have a plastic adapter that almost fits, so I'm hoping that I can use that somehow. Now, I realize that I could probably buy custom fittings and simplify this process, but watching me click the Add to Cart button doesn't really make for an interesting video. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be making the world's ugliest but effective custom drum sander dust collection port. I start off by measuring the inside diameter of the adapter along with the outside diameter of the vacuum hose. This gives me the idea of making a wooden ring to act as a spacer. I start out by adjusting the teeth on my circle cutter to just the outside of the measurement on my calipers. If you're interested in being absolutely terrified while using your drill press, then I recommend picking up one of these nifty tools. When they work really well. And when they don't, they kill anything within a 20-yard radius. I tighten it down in the chuck real good and then clamp my workpiece to the table surface. Once I'm sure that nothing is going anywhere, I start cutting. With the two circles cut out, I could test fit with the plastic adapter, and it fits perfectly. So now I take some depth measurements and set my bandsaw fence properly so that I could cut out the two circles. I clean them up on the belt sander real quick and glue them together and clamp them to dry. And once it was all dry, I cleaned up any glue squeeze out with a light sanding, and then I started to drill out the center of it with a Forstner bit. The bit I'm using is a bit undersized though, so once I'm finished making the hole, I need to expand it a bit using the spindle sander. I just kept taking a little material off, test fitting it until I was able to sneak up on the perfect fit. Now that the hose fit was done, I needed to get the plastic adapter to fit onto the drum sander itself. So I grabbed my heat gun and I started to warm up the plastic. Once I got it floppy enough, I could stretch it out and then fit it over the port on the machine. And then I just held it in place until it cooled and it hardened up. With a little bit of CA glue, I was able to stick in the wooden spacer as well as glue my fingers to the vacuum hose. Then I put on a brand new 80 grit sanding belt so that I could really put this thing to the test and make sure that I have enough suction, which is important with a drum sander, because if you don't have enough, then the dust buildup will actually cause burn marks on your project pieces. So I ran quite a few tests with various pieces, and it ended up working perfectly. It actually works better than what you see here, because in order to get the video shots, I had to have the front cover open, which reduces the suction. But overall, I'd say mission complete. On to the next project. Oh, didn't even tighten down. Oh, this thing is gonna kill me. Oh, jeez.